Feedback is important for developing self-regulation skills in learners. Here is a model of the domains of self-regulation by Monique Boerkaerts. It highlights that there are typically 3 domains that are considered. The cognitive domain, how we think and process information and how we learn. The metacognitive domain, or how we regulate this learning and check that our learning strategies are working. And the motivational domain, how we set goals and drive our learning through our motivations. Feedback can help underpin development of the cognitive domain of self-regulation and supports the development of metacognition as well. Feedback builds not only learning skills, but also can develop the students' awareness of how they learn and what they need to do to improve their learning. What is often overlooked, however, is the affective or motivational domain of self-regulation, which is highly impacted by both good and poor feedback. This will be discussed in more detail later in the module, but it's important to emphasise up front while we consider the impact of feedback on self-regulation as a whole. This study by Jones and colleagues shows the strong correlation between student perceptions of fairness of the feedback and their motivations to improve. Effective development of self-regulatory skills requires students to understand the process of learning and how it relates to them and their own situation. The development of self-regulatory skills in learning requires students to use the feedback with which they are provided effectively. This requires that the students have feedback literacy and understand what feedback is and how best to use it. For effective self-regulated learning, students need to understand their own strengths and limitations and to be able to evaluate opportunities for development themselves. Emphasis must be placed on how assessment and its feedback can be designed to maximise opportunities for students to come to understand requirements for themselves, without being dependent on external feedback in order to be able to accurately judge the quality of their own learning. The use of feedback to develop self-evaluation skills is covered in more depth in module AF4.